People ask me, Jacob, your favorite character is Wolverine. So why haven't you talked about any good Wolverine books?
Funny you should ask.
Funny you should ask.
Well, funny you should ask.
Indeed. Funny you should ask. What's up, my people? Jacob here with Bone Claws Comics, and today we're going to be talking about Wolverine Madripor Knights. This series is a 5-part series written by Chris Claremont with artwork by Edgar Salazar, and Chris Claremont is really back to form with this series. It takes a little bit to get going, but really this series gets better with each and every issue, with a culminating in the peak of writing with the final and 5th issue. It's really something you don't want to miss. The story features Wolverine, of course, with Black Widow and Captain America. Here is some interior art. Again, I'm not giving away anything. You can see fairly early on, the artwork is really good. He's done these characters justice. The story is set in Madripor Island, which is a morally questionable, if not entirely morally absent, island. I kind of like to compare it to Tortuga in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. It's where all the pirates and criminals hang out and do business. The story features Wolverine. He's teamed up with Black Widow, Jubilee, and Psylocke, and they're sent on this mission to Madripor to investigate this artifact that is of unknown power, that has fallen into the enemy hands and is being auctioned off to the highest bidder, which is never going to be a good guy. So they're sent to investigate this, and they are joined very quickly by the Avengers, Captain America, who is also there for a similar reason, if not the same reason, that is discovered later on in the story. It kind of gets dwindled down to Wolverine and Black Widow and Captain America. Now, not to spoil any of the story, but give you kind of a flavor of where the story is heading, it features mainly the trio of Wolverine, Black Widow, and Captain America. What you know about these characters is Wolverine and Black Widow are somewhat morally questionable. They don't have a problem killing people. They've killed people before. It doesn't bother them. It's not a hindrance to them to, erase somebody, which they do, and they do very well. Captain America, on the other hand, has high morals. He is morally unquestionable. He will not kill. He will not, do bad things. He's not like Wolverine and Black Widow. However, a little bit of a spoiler tag. In order to accomplish this mission, these characters are put in a position to where, in order to succeed, they have to do morally questionable things, to include Captain America. The villains in this series are notably the Hand. If you're not familiar with the Hand, it's very X-Men-y, Wolverine. It's a very prominent Wolverine villain organization, an X-Men organization, a really Marvel organization, the Hand. But they've enlisted the help of other villains who are notable in the Wolverine universe. I'm not entirely sure if they extend beyond the Wolverine storylines, but like Bloodscream and the like, that you may not be familiar with if you don't read Wolverine. I'm not sure how they cross over, if they ever cross over, but they are prominent in the Wolverine issues. But you get to see sides of these characters that you may not have, like a weakened Captain America, a Captain America who is now skinny again, a Captain America who is put in a position to where he may not like who he is coming out of it. Powers are lost, powers are gained. Let's just say some of the characters that are featured in this book will not be the same ever again coming out of this series. Things transpire, positions they're put in, they're forced to do morally questionable things. The regret coming out of what has to happen, the setup of a potential conflict in the future. If you're a fan of Wolverine, of Black Widow, of Captain America, I highly recommend this book. It's very entertaining. Like I said, it may be a little slow to start. Not that it's just without action, because there's action literally on the second page. But as far as storyline, each issue picks up and picks up and picks up until the climax. And it's storytelling done right. And when the climax happens, you have to deal with the fallout of the climax, which is going to change some people. Chris Claremont does a really good job of making some of these characters appear or seem or be vulnerable. Like Wolverine has a healing factor. He's nearly indestructible. Captain America, infallible morally. Black Widow, she's good, but she always teeters on the line of being bad again, being sucked back into that life. All of these things come into question. Wolverine may not have his invulnerability at some point in this story. Captain America may not have his strength, his powers at some point in this story. He may not have his moral aptitude, his moral standards at some point in this story. He may be forced to do things he's never done before and have no choice but to do these things. He may even enjoy some of these things that he didn't realize he liked. Now, I'm not saying it changes the character. It doesn't. But if you read this story, you'll see by the end of it, Captain America may not be the same person. He may still keep his morals. He may still be that, force for good, no matter what, justice, the American way, all that good stuff. But he's going to have some trauma that he didn't come into the story with, that Wolverine and Black Widow have grown accustomed to. So if you're a fan of any of these characters, if you're a fan of Wolverine, Captain America, Black Widow, I highly encourage you to pick up this book because it is definitely worth the read. Like I said, it gets better with every issue. The artwork is great, the writing is great, and Chris Claremont kind of leaves it open-ended to where there's a possibility of this particular storyline continuing. We may get to see the long-term fallout of these events on these characters and the mental health toll it may take on certain characters like Captain America, because the traumas that happened in this book or in this story will carry on. He may be, he may have gotten a taste of the life of Wolverine and Black Widow where, they do these morally questionable things that Captain America will just not succumb to. But he doesn't understand the trauma that they've grown up with, that they've, been accustomed to, the trauma in their life. He now has that too, and he has now gotten a taste of that too. So who knows? We may start seeing a different kind of Captain America. I doubt it, because he's so steadfast. But we're definitely going to see a Captain America that has to deal with the trauma of these events moving forward, if we get to see a continuation of this kind of run. And it is teased. Hopefully, it did well enough to where we can pick it up again and have this same kind of characters, moving forward. Because I really love to see the long-term effects of these traumas on Captain America in particular, which is strange because I'm not a Captain America fan, really. I like my anti-heroes, my darker characters, where he is just, the beacon of light. It may not be that way for him in this storyline. So, like I said, if you're a fan of these characters, if you're a fan of Wolverine, Captain America, Black Widow, Psylocke, do yourself a favor and pick up these books. Issue 5 just came out last week or a week or 2 weeks ago. So you can now find this whole series in your local comic shop. Remember to support your local comic shop. Go by there, pick up all the issues, read them. Let me know what you think. If you haven't read this series before, if you have read this series, let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. If you like the show, if you like the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, leave me a comment in the comment section below. As always, I look forward to talking with you again soon.